Hey everybody, Adam Small here again, and we're back with another review. We've got a bass to review today from a new company, at least new to me. It's called Vangoa, that's the company's name, and they've sent us a P-bass style bass. Now this bass is very inexpensive. I'm talking like less than $150. Last time I checked on Amazon, it was like $139, I think, but there was also a $10 coupon, so bringing it down to about $129. So it's safe to say it's a very inexpensive instrument. And because of that, it's marketed as a beginner or a starter bass. Now, for those of you who have watched our channel before, you'll know that sometimes when things are marketed as beginner or starter instruments, it's simply because of the cost and not because it's only for beginners. And certain instruments, this will remain to be seen, but certain instruments perform well enough for, anyone to have. All right, so before we get started here, we have to do the standard disclaimer, which we do in every video. Vangoa did send us this bass in exchange for us to make this video, so they sent us the product for free. But they didn't ask us to say anything about it specifically. They didn't coach us in any way, and we are always unbiased in our reviews. We tell it like it is because there's no other reason to do a video like this. Cool, so let's get to it. Should we see what the accessories are? We have a strap. It's like a nylon strap here. This is a small Allen wrench used to adjust your action, so near the bridge. Some picks with their logo on it. A full set of replacement strings. This is another Allen wrench. This is the one for your truss rod. There's a polishing cloth and a 1/4-inch cable. Oh, and the manual if you need it. All right, I think it's time to take this thing out of its gig bag and see how it sounds and plays. Here it is. Just a P-bass setup with their name on the headstock. So anyone familiar with the P-bass will know what this looks like. You can adjust the truss rod up top if you have the Allen wrench, which we do. And the action down here, adjustable bridge. So that's pretty standard. Now let's check out the frets here and see if there's any sharp ones, because sometimes with budget instruments, you'll have some sharp frets on the side and they can kind of hurt, make your fingers a little raw or even cut you. Let's check. Well, in this case, I am doing this without injuring myself, and these frets are nice. They're nicely rounded and finished, actually. So that's great, especially for an instrument that's so inexpensive. So let's see how this thing sounds now. I'm turning the tone all the way up. This is just a P-bass style bass, which means it's passive. It has a tone control and a volume control, and that's it. I'm going to turn the tone all the way up, which isn't my preferred setting, but we're doing this for the video. And I'm going to try to play something that goes all the way up the neck so you can kind of hear the range of this thing. Okay, so my first impressions are that this bass plays well and sounds nice, especially for the price, right? I played some chordal stuff so you could hear the clarity of it, and I try to play all over the neck, like I said. So I started with some kind of chordal things, just a G minor, right? B flat major, minor 2/5, back to G minor. But you can hear here, that's pretty funny, that it's pretty in tune up top too, without even adjusting the intonation out of the box. Of course, you can adjust the intonation and make it perfect, but I rarely expect an instrument to come here, set up perfectly in tune out of the box for less than $150, but this thing plays nice and sounds good out of the box. Now let's do the polar opposite here and turn the tone all the way down. I'm pretty sure I know what this is going to sound like, but let's just do it for science. That's pretty much the standard sound of a P bass with the tone all the way down, right? You can play it palm muted as well. Now let's put the tone halfway, which is pretty much where I would keep it most of the time. That's kind of where I would set it. I don't really like to go all the way down or all the way up most of the time, unless I'm going for a specific effect. Yeah, it sounds and feels good. Let's try some palm mutes. And of course, as with any bass, this will sound different depending on where you play down here. If you play with your fingers down near the bridge, it's going to sound different than near the neck or over the pickup. And you can play with a pick, and you can slap, and you can do anything you want. I'm just trying to give you the basic tone of the instrument here, but yeah, if you play closer to the bridge, like now when I play closer to the neck, or over the pickups, right? So you get the idea. In general and overall, this bass is a really good value for the money. And I can say that honestly, right? The frets are cool, the neck is solid, there's no dead spots, it feels nice and sounds nice all the way up and back. You could always modify it if you want to go down that rabbit hole, but this is a really good feeling and sounding bass for the price of, what, like around 130 bucks or whatever I said in the beginning. And I would definitely add this to the list of basses that I would recommend for anyone wanting an inexpensive instrument. And not just a beginner or someone that's starting how to play. I mean, they say that because it's so inexpensive that most beginners and people starting don't want to buy something super expensive right away or can't afford to, right? But if you're an experienced bass player like me, you'd have no problem gigging on this or just bringing it on a plane and, you know, for some travel dates or just to practice on, whatever the case is. It's just a solid instrument and it's fun to play, so that meets my criteria for sure. I hope this video was beneficial to you. Please like and subscribe if you got anything out of this, or leave terrible comments if you hated it and you have a problem with me or my hat. Thank you.